Alright, you bastard, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today we're going to talk about should your bug bag be bigger or smaller? Because there are two philosophies around this, but before we're going to talk about that, if you're interested in survival courses in Belgium, in Flanders, there will be a link to my website called survivaltrainingbelgia.be and also to my book called Bloody Crosses, so it's in the description, so if you're interested, take a look, I would say. So, there are usually two kind of philosophies with the gold bags. Some people say you have to travel as light as possible, so you're fast, so you have to be more trained to do more with less with the stuff that you have, or you are going to be away for a longer time. You have more gear, you have more supplies with you, and you can go further. So there are several to both cases. There are pros and there are cons. I will talk about the big bug bag first. As you can see, this bug bag weighs around 20 kilograms. The rule usually is your what you're wearing on your body should not be weighing more than 1/4, 1/5 of your body weight. I weigh 81 kilograms right now, so this is 1/4 of my body mass. But the thing is, if I'm going there, I've got two advantages with this because I'm training a lot with this bugger bag, so I have no problem with wearing it with that weight because my leg muscles are trained to it, so that's not really big an issue. And the second thing is that I don't like when people say your bugger bag is too heavy, too big, you should be minimalistic. Well, I say to them, you can throw stuff away. I mean, if you have a bugger bag with more gear, with more supplies, you don't know in what situation you're going to use them, because if it's is it winter time, is it summertime, what kind of disaster, what kind of situation are you in, you don't know. And if a bug out bag is usually for to get out of evacuation with everything that you have to out, and you don't know what kind of situation you're going into, I prefer to have more with me and throw away the things that I don't need, to be sure. So I rather have it and not need it and throwing it away than needing it and not having it. So yeah, that's the reason why I choose the bigger bug bag. But there are several disadvantages to the big one. First of all, physical damage. If you have a bigger and a heavier bug bag, and you have more chance that you will fall, sprain an ankle, perhaps you don't wear it in the right way on your hips, and you're moving a little bit on uneven terrain, or you have to flee or whatever, you can have physical damage to your back or to other muscles, strain a muscle or something. So that's something that can happen with it. Uh, I would say I don't want to you if you want to fit into a transport. If your idea of a transport evacuation during a bug out is a bigger bug out bag, that can be not handy in case your transport is going to be a public kind of transport. So if there is an evacuation going on and they say you have to go on a bus, a train, a boat, an airplane, helicopter, whatever, and they say you cannot bring your backpacks with you, then yeah, a big backpack, a small backpack, they can say it can fit in your seat, but a bigger one could be problematic, especially if as many people have to go in a smaller space for the evacuation vehicles. So yeah, in that case, a bigger bug bag is not that well. Another thing is you're going to be slower with this. Which is obvious. You have more gear, it's heavier, so you will do less distance in more time, so to say. So, but the idea is you will use stuff on the way. So yeah, it's you have the stuff you will need longer, but you can go longer, in my opinion. But in case you are not that well trained or inside of it, I would say yeah, it will generally make you slower. So in a situation where you need speed, perhaps the smaller one is better. Uh, the another thing is you have to train with it, because like I said, if I would have not trained with this in the beginning when I started with this, I had sore leg muscles, and even before that, before I had the hip straps, had hurted my back a few times because I was carrying as much gear and I was wearing it on my back. So train with it, train your leg muscles. Try to train with it to wear it in a proper way that it won't be on your shoulders and on your back the most of the weight. So that's something very important that you need to take into account. And of course, on how to use the gear, that all the gear that you use, because if you don't go out and train with it, and you never get to experience what kind of gear do I need, what kind of gear is obsolete, what kind of gear do I miss, then you cannot really know what you essentially need in most situations. All right. Um, so that's my take on the negative parts of a big bug out bag. You also have the smaller bug out bag, and as many people would say, with the smaller bug out bag, you are more agile, you are less big of a profile, which is also a thing about the bigger bug out bag. You will stand out a little bit more from further away, but yeah, if people really want to ambush you or to spot you while you're on a bug out, they will find you and they will see you, unless you are in a kind of military modus where you're trying to be stealthy and doing evasion techniques. But yeah, in a normal in most situations you will be visible anyway. So yeah, but in situations where you don't want to be visible, a big one stands out more. So the smaller backpack is also a lower profile, but I don't like a smaller backpack because I'm going to do a long distance for a bug out when I need to. So if you have a smaller bug out bag, you will have less gear, and yeah, less gear to overcome that distance. So less water, less food, less gear to do certain stuff. Um, wait, it's also not a good if you don't have a determined destination. So if this is your bug out bag and you don't have a bug out location or a certain point that you will know, I will have to go that way. Yeah, you are uncertain on how many gear you will have with you to even come to that place. If it's further away than expected, or perhaps you don't got a place at all, you have to roam around or go to a certain campsite for a longer time and you only have this with you, can be problematic if you don't have a predetermined plan. So yeah, uh, if you this is many people also say you just have to be more proficient with this gear, but this is especially annoying for beginning preppers or people who don't have the time or don't have the experience to be more proficient with the minimalistic gear. Yeah, that could be dangerous actually. So yeah, like I said, you have to train with the gear, but it's not always that possible to do that. You have a job, you have a family, you don't have the area where you can train this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's kind of annoying with a smaller bug out bag. Uh, it's also easier to try to steal. Uh, if you have a smaller backpack and you take it off, just somebody who runs. I don't know if you ever been to the city, but if you seen a robber or a thief in the city, they just and they grab it and they're gone. And especially with a light backpack like this, they can just hop it up and they run away and they are faster than you because they done it this much more than you. Uh, with a bigger bucket bag, you will be more likely to be targeted because they will know that you will have stuff, but it will be less easier to take with you because if they try to take it with you, they need at least two hands and they need to have the same training as you to take it. So you will be able to catch them up unless they are armed. But yeah, that can always happen. There's nothing more that you can do all about that. I think I'm. Oh yeah, What I also don't like about a smaller bug out bag is it's not all around. So as like I said before, if it's winter time, I have to change the whole smaller backpack specific to those conditions, and yeah, then yeah, sometimes you forgot, sometimes you say will do it next week. A bug out scenario happens, and yeah, you have to rearrange everything in the moment. You cannot really get away that easy that fast than you plan to for an evacuation, especially if it's a dangerous one. uh, there is one more thing I would say. It's also, yeah, I would say it's also not good for a bug in scenario, because like I said, if you have a bug out bag, um, in my previous videos I always said a bug out bag is the first thing you make and the last thing you use, because the first plan should always be a bug in scenario. But yeah, the bug out bag is the first week of your bug in scenario. So yeah, with a smaller backpack, it's not that handy. With this, you can do so much more with the first week of a bug in scenario with the stuff from your bug out bag. So yeah, I hope I made some sense, because I'm just rambling around with some thoughts that were flying around. Uh, so if you have any thoughts about this, what I will do a poll about this. Do you prefer a heavier or a lighter bug out bag? So we're gonna do a poll about that. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you get any tips for me, please let it know in the comments. I'm always eager to learn. And see you in the next video. Cheers.